Oh yeah, what's up? It's Cemented, and today I have another review, and this time I kind of wanted to treat myself a little bit because for the last, I don't know how many reviews, they've been pretty painful outside of Nisha, who obviously I'm very big on and remain very big on. So for this one I actually wanted to do Leejaegon, but as I've kind of prefaced in my last couple of videos that I really like to kind of have a decent main support on the other side of whoever I'm reviewing, to at least in terms of something like ult charge. If I just want a like slight example of that, then I can and how they like contrast, I can get that. And I think as I've been over, I don't think Jexay is very good, and I don't think Slime is very good whatsoever, especially when it comes to like the building ults category. So instead, I want to look at Dragons versus Fusion. So while I get my normal preface ready and start my lo-fi, let's start with Nepal. So this is a 6-map series. That's 6 or 7, something like that. That's nuts. So, if you have not ever watched my channel before and are new to me, I mostly cover only main supports in terms of reviewing because I really enjoy the role, but I also really want to push the role forward as I feel it is very underdeveloped. So, with that being said, I will be very harsh and very nitpicky because I feel it is needed. Although, I will say that I think Leejaegon is definitely, if not the front runner for main sports currently. And in terms of comparing him to Toby, I think Toby's very average. So you're kind of getting like the most basic average thing possible when looking at this. So this is just poking. This is fine. Okay, as soon as you drop, you get on heals. Okay, so this is a okay. Hold on. Before this fight breaks down a lot further, you see, like, this is where I can kind of tell, like, from body language and where, like, I mean, I want to say body language, but it's, like, in-game body language. So, just, like, first off, you're not moving anywhere as soon as you drop down into this. I mean, it's very good that you get a kill onto Carpe, but you're not going anywhere. So that like couple of seconds of not being on heals, and a lot of people have started looking at this and being like, hey, you know, I can understand that you really want to build beat, but you know, sometimes it's it might be a little much if it's like taking over your coaching thing. But Toby is already 20% more to ult charge than LJG, and I don't take that lightly whatsoever. So looking more deep into this, this is where I talk about body language, because you see a couple things here. So the Carpe pick is big, regardless of how you want to see it. But then a couple things happen here, because it looks like LJG wants to do something along the lines of either Reddit alarm, or maybe go kill this, or maybe try to boot the rest of the fusion into his team, which are all completely viable. But instead, he does none of the above and just kind of backs off very weirdly, and it puts him in a position where he gets poked at a lot of times. And I could be wrong. But LJG forced lamp. LJG forced Izuyaki's lamp. So this is just cleanup, not too much. But in terms of farming ult charge mid-fight, I think it's very good, from what I've seen at least so far. But only, I guess that was really shaky on like the decision making and not knowing what play to make like during the fight. But we can just chalk that up to it being a warm-up. Okay, this is all sorts of shit. Wait, actually, okay, I apologize for doing this in the middle of it, but what I'm gonna look for is to, I guess, kind of see where he where LJG really goes when this TP goes off. Because obviously Void is scouting it right now, and that's fine. But my problem is there's no congestion as they get there. Because, and I bring this up because I actually thought until we used AMP. But even though Toby doesn't use AMP, you can, if you're playing Lucio, you can kind of hang over the top of this if you know that they're going to TP from this way. If assumedly Void is calling that they're going to TP on left side, I as a coach would want my Lucio over around the side of the teleporter, and as the other team is pushing, that small little boop, if you have LJG like right up around where Void is and boop everyone back just a little bit, I think this fight goes differently. And I say that because it's very hard to like match people that are getting to point if they just get to skip the rotation. And that's kind of that element of surprise that playing Sim Brawl brings. But with that, if you even get that slight boot backwards, you really can set back their pacing. But because it didn't get contested, nothing really happens. So drop comes down. First off, be on heals. Okay, this is a good heal amp. Not sure about that boop. Okay, just doesn't feel like hitting shots today. That's fine though. Everyone else cleans up. Let him heal? Okay. I don't know why he was like walking away from Fate. Alright, so now he's getting a little set up for it. See, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know where that was the first time. Because the second time, like, there's always a fucking thing of, if you are, like, if you try to make something happen and you get punished for it, the very first time you do it, the fucking odds of someone like doing the same shit again, unless they are like forced to, in terms of just like the stars aligning, forcing them to play a certain way, then there's really no reason to suspect that someone would go for it again. But because it, like, LJG did nothing to capitalize on their TP the first time, and because of that, they even were able to bait it, and now in turn baited not only LJG's positioning, but baited the rest of the dragons, and literally nothing came of that TP, and they got high ground for free. But in hindsight, that was a good like hover over the TP, getting ready for it. That was fucking risque. Holy shit. Okay, so this is a lot. So I want to break this down a little bit more. Alright, so I can look at the top. So wall comes out, shatter comes out after the TP. I'm concerned on the hesitation. The slight beat hesitation. Which I think it was a little bit a mix of not knowing if Fate was gonna die and not knowing if he would have or if he would have gotten frozen out of it. Both of which are fair, but I mean, that's just what I think about for it. So now, since they're up, they really got to play for a slow fight. And that they do. Nice. So this is all fine. And then pushing up to boop recontest is also fine. I haven't looked too closely, especially at LJG's Brig. I looked a little bit at his Mercy, and I mean, just in general, if you look at LGG's Lucio, you just know that he's one of the better ones. So one of, if not the best. Okay. Holy shit. Okay, why did that happen? So this is either going to be LGG's bad or Fate's bad. So first off, this is a really weird peak. This entire, like, I'm trying my hardest not to use the word sus, because this was really bad in my eyes. Of, like, as soon as you see that both teams are, like, established where they are, and that meaning that Fusion opted to have most of their brawl on point, as well as having their Kree on an off angle, as well as in contrary to Dragons, who wanted to come from top and then presumably play around here. So as soon as, like, you're playing around here, you're playing for either two things. You're playing for point to unlock, and then you're rushing point, or you're, like, just straight up going the entire way. You're not stopping. But that hesitation really got LGG killed. Cause, like, he got bursted. An absurd amount of burst. I'm not gonna watch this because that's meaningless. Alright, so now we're seeing LGG play from beneath. Seeing that Toby has... That's a good dive deny. Sort of. It's not even like a full dive denial, but... Okay, I mean, all this has just been... pardon me for yawning. I'm recording this very late. The day before I'm supposed to upload it as well, so... but I mean, here it's kind of just been cleanup the whole way through. As soon as Mono died. That's a good boop to keep him in. Okay. Are they going top left? So let's see how he plays around this. They're playing, or they're holding close for it. Again, you're not moving. There's no reason to be on speed if you're not even moving in the first place. So I've actually been experimenting with a couple of boops from or to kind of break this top presence as Lucio especially. And I guess if it's worth noting to anyone, you can wall ride up here as soon as you get to this roof, and just permanently wall ride, and then you play for noise cues, wait, and then boop them all down. Or you can play at this corner, and then as soon as they round it, it's very hard to hit, but if you do, you can potentially boop like a singular person down to low ground, and that fucks their entire rotation. So, or at least depending on who you boop. But I mean, somehow LJG still managed to catch up with Toby after a 50% ult charge deficit. That's crazy. But it could have been even faster if he was on heals the whole time. So I want to see what he uses beat for here, mostly. That's a really good boop. Okay, what the fuck? What is happening? Okay, so there's a lot of things that happen there. So, this boop on Carpe, really fucking good. That's like fight winning. This beat, fine. But then what happens after this beat is a absolute fucking blur. There's no reason for you to be up here. That boop did nothing. I guess was he trying to boot people into... Yeah, I guess he was trying to boot people into Blizzard. So, I mean, I can see a reason for that boop. But then ego peeking the bomb I'm not a fan of. But I mean, also if you just get done beating, you can play a lot more loose. So I can understand a lot where that comes from. So this is like signified or dignified Lucio map for this I guess split of Koths. So we'll see how much he's able to do. This is all fine. You're not moving. There was no need to crossfade. Alright, there you go. Now this is fine. That boop's big. Yeah, these displacements are really fucking good. But this is what I'm talking about, and I'll talk about this why there's downtime. But it's like, even LGG, who, if you ask basically anyone, is like undoubtedly the best main support we have, there's still cracks. And like, obviously we don't need a flawless player, to be completely honest, but like, man, it is difficult to... Okay. That's a really good boot. Completely ego peek the window, by the way. But it's Lucio, so it's whatever. But even seeing like some of these cracks are is really interesting and like telling of the role. So looking at this more, I mean, so this boop was cool, and I honestly don't know how that works necessarily, but I mean, the only downside that I see in that boop is that, I mean, yes, Izzy lamps it, but at the same time, if in theory, if that were to somehow not kill Rascal, it would have, like, whether the boop would have no-regged or whatever, then that could have really been a dangerous place for Void to be in. That's where my concern lies with that. But overall, that's small stuff. This is good scouting. Holy fuck, how is Rascal getting picked so much? Nice eat of the rock. That was big. Alright. I like watching the side just a little bit, especially because he saw that Rascal had gone for a flank before, so... This is still fine. Pretty sure Beat's gonna come out for Melt or Shatter. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with this. So this beat was for Void. Okay, what does Izzy have? Izzy has Lamp. That's That is my immediate argument to this beat. Especially while they still have Shatter, because if they were hesitant on that Shatter for like 1 second more, and obviously that is a big what if, but at the same time, like, I feel like that could just be a little bit cleaner in terms of you won't necessarily have to have your beat forced until Lamp is out as well. Because then imagine getting the Lamp out, waiting, and then if in theory the Shatter hits, then you have a really cozy beat to keep everyone up. I want to watch Ike. I haven't watched Ike in a minute. And I also don't know what the dragons have been running. At least in terms of this series. This scouting is massive. But alright, we'll watch one more Lucio map, and then I want to see if we can watch a Brig map. Holy fuck, wait, where, in what universe did Leejaegon just get fucking lost in? So, immediately, Amps fails going up a wall, is looking to, I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he sees there. Wait, please boop him out of his fucking Immor. What? Okay, that was, that could have been fucking fight changing. But I mean, Void and LJG seem to be on the same page with each other, which is really good to have, synergy-wise. Even though it might not be the hardest thing ever, it's still really fucking good to have. This is good, not risking it. He really tried to give that to Fleta. Okay, well, I mean, that's a really good beat. And then I think a boop came out before the beat as well. And so you obviously see the late peak on the Fleta to make sure that he gets it as well. That's just clean. I don't know if he like out farmed Toby or what. No, Toby just didn't feel like it. That's crazy. Okay. What the fuck is this? What is that play? Okay. So okay. Because what I see right here is dog shit. So LJG splits off from everyone, goes on a Mission Impossible heist to go mess with the backline, which would be fine, typically. And I guess if you want to put your fucking conspiracy theorist hat on, you can say that like LJG messing with them made it to where Alarm didn't shoot the one heal that Hotba needed. But my argument for this fight is right now LJG just used beat and knows that Toby has beat. And with that being said, you're now playing to lap, because like what a lot of people like, if you have an advantage in something, it's okay to push that advantage, but then if other people start like creeping back up, you gotta make the gap bigger, or else they're just gonna catch up over time. And like, although Toby, like, I don't even know, tries to, I guess, keep Fleta in the fight, like, that whole play thing was really just unnecessary. Luckily, Fusion don't feel like playing the game. Man, Fusion are playing pretty sloppily. And so is Izzy, but it is what it is. Still staying on heals this entire time until he has to taxi Izzy. That's fine. Okay, that speed amp is fine, but let's look at that boop, because that was something. Okay, so that comes out full amp speed. That was just an attempt. That's fine. Oof. Could have just played it safe and gone through this doorway, as opposed to wide swinging for no reason. I don't know. LJG is playing like occasionally is being like a little bit behind everyone else. Okay, amp speed out, that's fine. Are you guys gonna fight this? That's alright, that's just cleanup for them. Alright, beats are even. This has been a really uneventful second point. I like this cart pressure. That was a shifty beat, man. I think all the people that he intended to beat for were all the people that didn't get it. But again, this map flip is completely fine. That's fine. Okay, so this is like ultimate, whatever you want to call it, Reddit territory for LJG. This is interesting. This is like the most desperation plays. Which, I mean, I guess you can make an argument for, since he really had to make something happen. Okay, what do they play? Defense, is it Brawl again? Okay. Just since I've been viewing nothing but his Lucio up to this point. We all know his Lucio is pretty solid, so I'll just... Ooh, Gibraltar. Gibraltar is going to be a very telling map. Because this should mostly consist of Mercy and Brig. Which I love to see both of. Fuck. Yeah, it would be a weird time if I had to really go in depth between whether Mono's inting? What the fuck? Whether Nisha or LJG is better. Because I think Nisha might actually have it, depending on how this goes looking at his Brig. So this is just Snowball from Mono Turbo inting, but a lot of mini jumping. The Mercy cart. I don't like Mercy on cart. Izzy would be fine on it, if not your diva. I mean, overall, the pocketing up to this point has been pretty on in terms of peeling and getting damage out. Especially, I think damage boosting Monkey, even if it's not for a very long time, is very underrated. Just as a means to up the primal uptime, as well as give your Ana a little bit of slack. In terms of who all she has to heal. Especially if you have like nothing to do, because having like Lip who's not entirely disengaged, but who your pocket doesn't affect as much, almost forced his own Valk from the bad positioning. Though I did see that. He's playing a little close now that I think about it. And doing that. I don't know if he was looking to pistol someone or... Oh no, he was just looking for the quick swap. That's what it was. There it is. Okay. Well, that last pack wasn't necessary, but whatever, we'll shake it off. That was a completely unnecessary flail. Okay. Who the fuck just, like, gave you the kill of the year? I don't know who just assisted you with that, but they did literally everything. So that's what I'm going to refer to in the future as ego flails. I bring this up pretty much anytime I look at a Brig. That basically, Mono is, within reason, as close, if not, like, is within range of LJG. But he refuses to hit a skill shot because it's not skillful enough. And you waste nano with that. Okay. So there's a lot of steps to this. So, like, again, could just wait and then flail Mono, but I want to watch the second flail as well, because the second flail also misses. Well, that's the third or second flail to miss, and 3. So, like, up to this point, man, if you're in grab, you're just struggling to get fucking any tick of inspire. It doesn't matter if you're like whip shotting or full comboing a fucking tracer out of existence. This is very easily... Dude, please work on these fucking flails, man. The bash also doesn't help you get Inspire, so... Good catch. Please, for the love of God. Okay. Hit a whip shot. That's fine. I like that rally. Especially because rally versus primal, the primal does nothing slash feels like it does nothing. Towards the end there, even though that was probably more or less resetting, you can kind of dodge a bit with shield dancing. Scout for the monkey. That was absolutely fucking useless. Okay, so as soon as Hotba and Rascal get found, they immediately know that they're gonna have to eventually get out if they get pushed. And this is why I absolutely hate full comboing, because you can go back and see the release of Brig and see where full comboing was a thing when it was one-shotting tracers. Then it was viable. But now you just committed bash and flailed someone who was already staying in this corner. Like, you peek this corner, you round it, you get Inspire, and you fuck off. Like, I know this isn't the most accurate depiction of what I'm saying, but in my words, you don't, like, get anything from just wasting your fucking cooldowns here. Besides fucking forcing Toby to rally for some reason. Like, because now, like, if he jumps, you don't have anything to contest him whatsoever. As Brig, at least. Which is what I'm mostly concerned about. He gets out for free, and now if Tracer really wanted to, not to mention, if Tracer or Mana wanted to, as soon as those cooldowns come out, they can, like, know that they can walk at the Brig now. Because Brig is very walk-onable as soon as she wastes both their cooldowns. But you shouldn't be wasting both of your cooldowns. They should be interchanged, or interchanged in, they're two separate things that you have to use individually. That bash out wasn't necessary. Rascal just really wants to play in your LOS. Man, these flails are fucking horrific. Like, I said it was gonna be close, dude. Nisha 100% Nisha has some dumb flails, but are better than this. And this is why I'm like, I'm sad that there's not, in my opinion, there's not a really good Brig in Overwatch League. Which I think is the, if I'm honest, I'm gonna get a little deeper here. So I think what I'm gonna go into 0.75 speed and go into a little tangent, because people for however long have been talking about, like, Widowmaker's effectiveness over time, and Widow used to be effective during inaugural season 1, where people weren't knowing how to play around hit scans and weren't, like, as good as with playing around a Widow as they are now. And I think where a lot of main supports are coming up short right now is playing Brig. And that's why you see so many Tracers getting so much value, because they don't really have a Brig standing in their way. They physically do, but, like, in practice, it's not like their Brig's doing what they need to get that value. Again, full combo for no reason. At the very most, just bash, get the fucking just get the recall out, and you've done your job. But wasting whip shot on that forces your own downtime. Full combo to bubble. Nasty, man. Okay, so hopefully Brig on defense is better. Please don't play Mercy. I really love Brig on defense for this map. I've said it time and time again that Brig can literally take over this entire map on point 1 if you play it correctly. Thank you. Let's go. So I think this is the last round that I will probably do, and then send it off. So, completely unnecessary bash. That's a good flail, really early. But you don't play to deny mono? I don't like that whatsoever. That's not a good trade. Like, by all means, if you want to come over here and you want to greed for this flail early, that's fine. Because now you have Inspire while the dive happens. But now you're opening up a window for the dive to happen. And I can come back and look at this and just look at the bubble timing on mono. Because the way I see it, I mean, it's a little bit more rough with Carpe on Widow in the mix, but ultimately you can just hard shield on top of this blue crate and just watch mono. Because he eventually is going to come up to you. And it's like, sure, mono, okay. So let's look when mono gets bubbled. Okay, mono is getting bubbled all the way down here. So I want to deflect this already, because a lot of people are going to say, okay, if they're bubbling him so early, then like why would LJG like need to be up there? LJG does not need to, and any main support for that matter, should not be reliant on other teams making mistakes like this. Because this is way too early of a bubble, and that's why mono gets, like, I mean, on top of mono goes really fucking deep. But, like, man. Like, the only time that a bubble coming out that early would be justified is if there's a Brig over here that could flail you down. Like, that would be the main thing. But, with that being completely off the table, like, sure, it's not good for Fusion, but it's not good on LGG's part either. What the fuck? Why? Why would you ever drop? What? I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but it did, and that was very shaky. Okay, now we're in a position to flail the dives, right? Right. In theory, maybe if we dive today. Wait, why are we backed up so much? Please don't tell me you're gonna fucking miss the... Dude, why? What's the point of it? Why? And now you're playing for now you're just leaving the rest of your team. What a fucking joke, man. I hate to break it to the guy that said that LJG's got like a super clean brig. I just don't think that's true. Oh yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm completely fine with saying that Niche is the greatest main support we have right now. After watching this. Solely because, again, brig play. And flexibility. Same reason I said Moth wasn't that good. Again, this flails, man. Like the like Inspire uptime mid fight is fine, but like the lack of direction in terms of what to do in the middle of fights is really throwing me off. That's a good flail. You tried. Just flail him. What? Oh god. Why? What was the point of that? There's no way in hell that was ever thought to have been a good plan. That's almost as bad of a plan as nanoing Toby. Holy shit. Just taking way too much poke. Like, got his shield poked out before he even peeked. This part's fine, of course. I believe it's the first rally we've gotten, by the way. Could be wrong. Could be right. Okay, let me remember. 1410. Is this the first rally we've gotten? There's no way. Okay, okay. I was gonna lose my mind. Just flailed a bubble again. Please get Inspire. Okay. There you go. You only pay for it with your life. Okay, I guess saving rally for recontest. What the fuck? Just blindly swinging. Did he get capped by fucking Carpe? I'm assuming. Yep. Holy shit. I don't know if I've seen all that I need to see, but I know I don't want to see it anymore. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's bring this to the end. So overall thoughts. Undoubtedly, I don't think anyone can say mechanically that LJG isn't the best main support that we have. If not one of. And I think if you're looking at the bigger picture, I think if he really focuses on something like hitting brig whip shots and like getting the timing down for everything, he has, again, he literally has the potential of being the greatest main support of all time. But with that being said, I don't like what I saw in the brig. I like, and I mean, Mercy is kind of just the Mercy had some bad positioning issues, and I don't know where I was at with that. I didn't get to see too much of it, but definitely positioning was a big thing there. But mechanically, he's a beast, and I can respect him for that. But this also goes to show mechanics don't do everything for you, especially not in a role like main sport, because like although he did get, just like thinking back, did get a couple of really good things like the Carpe Boop on Nepal. Like you get a couple of really good plays out of those, but for every batch of those you get, you know, fucking 30 missed whip shots or whatever the fuck it was, because that was an obscene amount of whip shots that he was missing, to be completely honest. That would have been so beneficial to him and the rest of his team if he would have had it the entire time. So I think looking at how I want to rate all of this, so as usual we have to do our 1, 2, 3. Then I think Lucia has to be is number 1. Then Mercy, then Mercy, then Brig. So ultimately, I mean, I'm definitely still a little bit more disappointed in the Brig play than I would like to be, because I was very much under the anticipation that his Brig was a lot better than it was initially led on to be. But I don't think it's out of the picture or uncharacteristic to say that like you should know how to play Brig on Gibraltar, realistically. That it's not the most difficult thing in the world, but I think that's gonna do it. Well, I mean, I appreciate the fuck out of you guys for watching. I know this went a little bit longer than my last review, but in general, I will still stick to my word that Nisha is better, in my opinion, than Leejaegon. But overall, I appreciate the fuck out of you for watching. Follow me on Twitter if you want to know whenever I upload. That's where I always tweet it out. I love the fuck out of all of you. I have, over the past couple days, looked at my analytics for the first time in like a really long time, because I don't really like looking at numbers, and the numbers that I see are really like kind of stunning, to be honest. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you, like, and I really do mean that. I don't just say that just because it's a like carbon copy thing to say to everyone, but I really do appreciate everyone that watches my stuff, that especially the people that comment, like knowing that I'm actually touching people enough to get a conversation going, even if it's not in my favor, and maybe I bring something to the table that maybe you didn't think about before but you don't necessarily agree with. At least I brought that to the table, and I appreciate people that are willing to get the discussion going in the comments, and I, as usual, will always be responding to every comment that I get. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you. I will see you when I see you. Later.